Welcome to the video guide for Asura's Blinding Light, Master, released as part of patch 2.9.0 of Dragalia Lost. Master Asura doesn't feel like there's a huge step up in the stats required from Expert. There's only a handful of extra mechanics compared to Expert. It's actually entirely likely that Master doesn't introduce new mechanics and I simply missed some mechanics in the Expert guide. Either way, we'll cover those in this video. Before we dig into the rest of the fight, many thanks to Mechaf for providing the footage for this fight. Mechaf streams on Twitch, Thursday through Sunday, evenings Pacific time. As always, my name is Xenozilus, and let's get straight to it. Master Asura follows the pattern of the other Sinister Dominion fights we've seen so far, skipping the initial Fallen Angel phase for an element change mid-fight. Abilities remain unchanged from Expert as far as I can tell. There might be minor differences I've missed, but for the most part you don't have to change the way you handle Asura's abilities in Master as opposed to Expert. As always, certain mechanics and attacks will be skipped or repeated based on phase progression and remaining hit points. The first new mechanic you'll see is Demonic Dispersion. This spawns a few Enlightenment Orbs as well as a purple chaser on each player. Destroy the orbs and then spread. There's enough room for one player to sit under the boss, so one melee adventurer can keep uptime during this mechanic. After this comes Forbidden Circle. Much like Incandescent Invocation from Phase 1 Expert, this spawns a ring and 4 orbs. These orbs shoot out projectiles in a fan pattern and cover the arena with literally a dozen telegraphs. While they don't hit too hard, leaving the orbs up can quickly become troublesome, so try to clear those as soon as possible. Asura will continue to spawn in orbs periodically and combine this with other purple telegraphs and mechanics, so try to avoid eating too many attacks in a row before your healer gets a chance to top you off. As always, you'll get a team switch when Asura reaches 50% hit points. Asura changes to Wind and begins to afflict sleep with her attacks. There aren't any new mechanics in the flame half of the fight, but note that Asura will begin to stack even more purple telegraphed attacks together. While nothing is lethal by itself, the onslaught of mechanics can be hard to survive if you don't have sufficient regen healing between hits. Nothing changes too much in terms of strategies. Hold Dragon to bust weak points and big AoEs for ball busting. When it comes to team compositions, a lot of players have reported that reusing team compositions from Yaldabaoth has worked well. And that makes sense, since Asura also inflicts sleep in the wind half. As a result, Gala Leonidas is still a preferred DPS for the flame half of the fight, alongside someone to enable more than a handful of Scorch Trend applications such as Kimono Alazan or Summer Alex. It's not to say that Gala Leonidas is the only DPS capable of running Asura. Sleep-resist adventurers such as Panther, Naveed, Nobunaga, essentially anyone that was decent for Yaldabaoth before should be capable of running Asura too. Asura's burn and Scorch Trend resists also start at 80%, so Scorch Trend enablers are required to make Scorch Trend Punisher prints worth running. Depending on how team compositions come together in your runs, you might find yourself swapping worm prints quite often if you're being fastidious. It's unlikely that you'll make it through the flame half of the fight completely unscathed due to the mounting number of mechanics and telegraphs. So compared to Yaldabaoth, Asura ends up quite punishing for stun resist adventurers. Healer-wise, unsurprisingly Halloween Lowen is a fairly safe choice. Given that the only other healer choice with sleep resist is Orien, then I guess Verica is probably the next best choice if you put sleep resist on her. If you have further questions, feel free to leave a comment or pop by my Twitch streams. I stream Wednesdays and Saturdays at 9:30 PM BST. As always, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.